Let me guess. You're one to think. Making six figures would make everything better. Bills wouldn't feel tight. Decisions wouldn't feel stressful. You'd finally feel ahead. And now, you're either close to $100,000 a year, or you just crossed it. And somehow it still feels normal, maybe even tight. Here's the thing. Crossing $100,000 doesn't change your life the way you think it does. Because the financial system treats that milestone very differently than your brain does. My name is Max, and I spend way too much time thinking about how income milestones quietly reshape financial decisions. Look, for decades, $100,000 has been treated like a finish line. But according to the U.S. Census Bureau, the median household income in 2023 was about $74,000. So on paper, earning $100,000 puts you well above the median. You feel like you made it. But here's what most people don't realize. The jump from $75,000 to $100,000 is not a 33% lifestyle jump. Because taxes, benefit phase-outs, and institutional design quietly eat part of that raise. Let's do a little math. At $75,000, after federal taxes, FICA, and moderate state tax, you might take home roughly $58,000 to $60,000. At $100,000, you might take home roughly $72,000 to $76,000. So your gross income rose by $25,000. But your usable take-home may have risen by closer to $15,000 to $18,000. Now you might be thinking, okay, that's still a big increase. Yes, but here's the framing error. Your brain sees six figures and upgrades your identity. Your cash flow sees a much smaller difference. And institutions react immediately. You qualify for larger loans. Health benefit tiers change. Certain tax credits phase out. Retirement contribution percentages suddenly feel easy. Banks don't congratulate you. They expand your borrowing power. And this is where it gets really interesting. Let's hear a quick story. Two people both earn $105,000. Same city. Same starting lifestyle. Same opportunity. Person A upgrades immediately. Bigger apartment. Nicer car. More dining out. Higher recurring commitments. It doesn't look reckless. The rent only went up $600. The car payment feels manageable. Vacations feel earned. But here's what most people don't realize. Most upgrades aren't one-time expenses. They're permanent monthly commitments. Let's say person A increases fixed monthly obligations by $1,800 total between housing, transportation, subscriptions, and general spending. That's $21,600 per year. Remember the effective raise? Roughly $15,000 to $18,000 in extra usable income. They've already consumed it. Now you might be thinking, they still make six figures. They're fine. But here's the hidden shift. Their financial break-even point just moved. Before, maybe they needed $4,500 a month to survive comfortably. Now they need $6,300. A job disruption becomes more dangerous. A medical bill becomes more disruptive. A bonus becomes necessary instead of optional. At higher incomes, fragility hides better. From the outside, person A looks successful. From the inside, their margin shrank. And psychologically, something subtle happens. When fixed costs rise, flexibility falls. You don't feel wealthy. You feel obligated. You stay in jobs longer than you want. You hesitate to pivot careers. You tolerate stress because the burn rate demands it. That's not failure. That's structural pressure. Now compare that to person B. Person B freezes lifestyle for 1 year. They redirect $1,200 a month into eliminating debt, building 6 months of expenses, increasing retirement contributions, creating a separate opportunity fund. After 12 months, person B has over $14,000 in liquidity plus lower obligations. Here's the real difference. Their monthly break-even barely moved. So their raise expanded options instead of expenses. Same income, completely different financial pressure. And here's the deeper insight. Crossing $100,000 is not a wealth milestone. It's a leverage milestone. Your decisions carry more weight. A 5% mistake at $50,000 costs $2,500. A 5% mistake at $100,000 costs $5,000. Inefficiencies scale faster. And here's something most people never calculate. If you raise fixed costs too quickly, every future decision becomes defensive instead of strategic. This is why research from Princeton showed that emotional well-being rises with income up to a point. But structure and alignment matter more than raw dollars. Money reduces stress when it increases margin. It increases stress when it increases obligations. So what should you do if you just crossed $100,000? First, delay permanent upgrades for 12 months. Not forever, just long enough to stabilize. Second, calculate your true raise. Ignore the gross number. Subtract your old monthly take-home from your new monthly take-home. That difference, not six figures, is your real decision space. Third, automate stability before lifestyle expansion. Increase retirement contributions immediately. Strengthen liquidity. Lower high-interest obligations. Then upgrade deliberately. Because crossing $100,000 is not about proving you made it. It's about deciding whether you want breathing room. Six figures used to symbolize security. Today, security is not an income number. It's the gap between what you earn and what you've locked yourself into. Build that gap early, and the next raise becomes optional. That's freedom. Thanks for watching. If you're someone who earns good money but still feels like it disappears faster than it should, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up.